Hello, this is Larry White, and this is my second video on showing the sizing of high-tech cast bullets using the Dan Dix pneumatic sizer. Since my first video, I had numerous damage to my casting area, so I decided to redo it. With the new Dan Dix sizer, I am able to cast more bullets, and I set this up with a new bench that I can pull outside. It's casting outdoors, tumblers for powder coating, and the ovens, and all my powder coating equipment. After my first video, people sent me messages, do I really cast and load that many different calibers? The answer is, I do quite a few. I shoot most of them. This is a 6x8 shed that I do my sizing and reloading in. I have a Dillon 550, a couple of Lyman powder measures, a Dillon Square Deal, Hornady lock and load, Dillon 1000, predecessor to the 1050, C&H single stage. This is a C&H press that I purchased in 1963 that has a bar. I have numerous dies. I still use this press to the day. Probably where Dillon got his idea for the 550. I also have removed a couple of presses over in this area for easier viewing of the sizing. I have two more dies, or two more presses, and 4 mech shotgun presses. On molds, all my vertical molds are round ball and rifle molds. I've purchased a magnetic strip to put my sizing dies on. Convenience, and they don't get lost. Above, I have all the rest of my dies, molds. I have approximately 60 molds, everything from 310, which I just did these, down to the 380. This can be sized 355 for the 380. But I can also size them 358 for the Cowboy Action powder puff loads. This is an extremely short bullet, and I talked to Dan, and he told me that because of the shortness, we need to take the bullet bar and have a slot that it fits into. It sets and works much better having this extremely short bullet. Everything stays in place. Today I'm going to switch from 38 sizing to 45. I will show you that. First of all, I lifted the ram with a open end wrench. Dan contacted me and said might cause damage, so I made myself a wooden one. Lined it with leather. Loosen your ram and take off the ram. It is an extremely long thread, which is great because of the amount of pressure that you're putting on this. Come around and find your trusty magnet, lift out the sizing die. Take the 45 sizing die and insert it. Loosen your bullet drop tube and remove it. Loosen the screw on your bullet bar. Remove the screw. to store them safely. Get out the large size. Insert the bullet bar. Attach with this screw. I only have one of these screws. I plan on getting additional ones because they can get lost. When you buy a sizer from Dan Dix, you might request him to include an extra one. This is the Dan Dix pneumatic sizer, an unbelievably fast machine. And since I have had this machine, I have been able to size many more bullets. Put your bullet drop tube in and have a spacer. I made this one. Remove the spacer, snug this down. Take the ram. Get the ram going here. Tighten the ram, snug, tight. Do not over tighten it, but make sure it is firm. At this time, I dropped in a bullet. I have no air. Push this through. It picks up the bullet and drops it in. Try another one. Come back, pick it up, and it drops in. So that assures me that I'm adjusted. I have already charged the compressor, so hopefully it will not come on during this time. I also have just gotten a new all right, now that we've tested the bullet, it should be able to turn on the air after we plug it in. One of the things that I did not mention was when you plug in the air, since we had changed it over, we have air in the tank. And when I plug in the air, it will activate the ram. So you want to make sure that you have your safety shield in place when you are activating the air. I'm going to open it so you can see. I'm going to turn it on and start dropping in semi-wad cutter, round nose flat point, truncated cone, round nose flat point, truncated cone, Hensley Gibbs 185 grain bullet, round nose, another round nose flat point. The Hensley Gibbs bullet, 200 grain, great wad cutter bullet, great for bullseye shooting. With this machine, I can do 50 bullets a minute conservatively. If I wanted to put it up a little, you can do that and make it go a little faster. But to me, this is a good speed. Make sure you shut off the machine when it's on the back stroke. If Dan Dix would have had this machine out 50 years ago, I would not have 5 sizing machines in drawers down here that I do not use. If you want to size bullets, spend less time sizing, more time loading and shooting, this is the machine to have. After you watch this video, if you'll get on YouTube and check out Dan Dix Sizing, he has a new video showing the machines. You can contact him on pricing and availability and what he has in stock. We'll show you the site. I also will answer any questions. I'm on the West Coast, Dan is on the east. So if I can answer any basic questions, I would be glad to do so. Other than that, contact Dan Dix for availability. Thank you for watching the video.